imagine this. You wake up, and the first thing you see isn't your alarm clock or the gray ceiling of your apartment. It's the golden morning sun streaming through a panoramic window, lighting up a view of the Alps. Or maybe a quiet beach on the Mediterranean coast. You stretch out in a bed that feels just as comfortable as the one at home. You step onto a warm floor, brew a fresh espresso, and slide open the door to let the world in. For a lot of us, this is the dream. The ability to just go. To leave the noise behind without leaving the comfort behind. But usually, to get that level of luxury, you have to drive a massive, clunky motorhome that feels like piloting a bus. Well, not anymore. Today, we are looking at something special. Something that changes the game for 2026. This is the new Pössl Trenta 640. It's compact, it's agile, and it is packed with the kind of features you usually find in a yacht. We're talking a full bathroom, a smart open concept living space, and finally an 8-speed automatic transmission that makes driving it feel like a luxury SUV. If you've been waiting for the perfect travel companion that fits in a parking spot but sleeps like a hotel, you need to see this. Let's take a look. Let's start with the outside. At first glance, the Trenta 640 commands respect. For 2026, Pössl has refined the aesthetic to be sleek and understated. It's built on the reliable heavy chassis, usually the Citroën Jumper or Fiat Ducato platform, depending on your specific dealer configuration, but the standout here is that new transmission. Under the hood, this model comes equipped with a 2.2-liter engine pushing out roughly 180 horsepower. But the magic number here is 8. That's the 8-speed automatic gearbox. If you have ever driven an older campervan with a manual stick shift in stop-and-go traffic, you know it can be a workout. This is effortless. It glides through gears. Whether you are climbing a steep mountain pass or cruising at highway speeds, the engine noise is minimal and the power delivery is smooth. Visually, the van sits at just over 6 meters, 6.36 meters to be exact. That extra 36 centimeters over the standard 6-meter vans might not sound like much, but as you'll see when we get inside, it makes a massive difference in the bedroom layout. Notice the framed windows. They sit flush with the bodywork. It reduces wind noise, sure, but it also just looks premium. You've got the dark privacy tint, the sporty alloy rims, and that massive sliding door on the passenger side. And speaking of that door, it features the soft close aid. You don't have to slam it and wake up the whole campground at midnight. Just a gentle push, and it latches shut. It's stealthy enough to park in a city, but rugged enough for the wild. Now, let's step inside. And this is where the Trenta badge really earns its keep. The first thing you notice isn't what's there, it's what's not there. Look up. There is no overhead shelf cutting off the cab from the living area. Pössl calls this the open space concept. By removing that storage bin above the driver and passenger seats, they've opened up the entire ceiling. You can walk from the back to the front without ducking, and the natural light just floods in through the front skylight. It makes the van feel twice as big. The driver and passenger seats, these are captain's chairs, fully rotatable. Spin them around, and you have a dining area for 4. The upholstery in this 2026 model has been upgraded to a durable, stain-resistant fabric that feels soft to the touch, almost like a high-end residential sofa. The table here is clever. It has a swing-out extension, so if you're sitting in the passenger seat, you can actually reach your dinner without leaning forward. And look at the lighting. This is one of my favorite details. The Trenta features indirect ambient lighting strips that run along the top of the cabinets. It's warm, inviting, and fully dimmable. At night, it doesn't look like a vehicle, it looks like a modern downtown apartment. The wood finish, this is the Tiburino decor, mixes a light, modern wood grain with anthracite accents. It feels very contemporary. No old school, dark, heavy wood here. It's airy and fresh. Moving just slightly back, we hit the kitchen. Now, in a compact van, the kitchen is usually where you make compromises. But Pössl has been smart here. The countertop gives you decent prep space, but if you need more, there's a fold-up extension on the side. You've got a 2-burner gas hob with a glass cover and a deep stainless steel sink. The faucet is high-quality metal, not plastic. But the star of the kitchen is the refrigerator. It's a compressor fridge, which means it cools down fast and doesn't need to be perfectly level to work. But look at this hinge mechanism. You can open the fridge door from the left or the right. Why does that matter? Imagine you're outside, grilling under the awning. You realize you forgot the butter. You don't have to climb inside the van, squeeze past the cook, and open the fridge. You just reach in from the doorway, grab what you need, and you're done. It's a small detail, but when you're actually living with this van, those are the things you fall in love with. Storage-wise, you have huge soft-closed drawers underneath. They are deep enough for pots, pans, and all your dry food. Everything locks securely into place for travel, so you won't hear your cutlery rattling around when you hit a bump. Okay, let's talk about the bathroom. This is often the deal-breaker in small camper vans. People ask, can I actually shower in there? In the Trenta 640, the answer is a solid yes. This layout uses a central washroom design. Instead of a cramped little closet in the corner, the bathroom walls are curved and extend into the hallway. But here is the trick, the door isn't a standard door. It's a sliding tambour door that moves smoothly along a track. When you want to shower, the space is surprisingly generous. You have a proper sink, a swivel toilet, and a shower head that pulls out. There is even a window in the bathroom, which is rare. That's huge for ventilation. No one wants a damp bathroom in a small space. Open that window, let the steam out, and you're good. But my favorite feature of this bathroom design is how it acts as a room divider. You can use the bathroom door to close off the bedroom from the living area. Let's say one of you wants to wake up early and make coffee, while the other wants to sleep in. You can close this partition, and suddenly you have a 2-room apartment on wheels. It adds a layer of privacy that is usually missing in van life. Finally, we get to the back. The bedroom. Remember I said this van is 6.4 meters long? This is where that extra length pays off. In the shorter 6-meter vans, you often have to sleep sideways, which is a nightmare if you're tall. Here, we have longitudinal beds. Twin beds running lengthwise. This means you can sleep straight without curling up your legs. The beds are huge. And if you prefer cuddling, you can use the infill cushion to turn this whole area into one gigantic king-size bed that stretches wall to wall. The mattresses are cold foam, 7-zone memory foam. They are supportive and thick. Underneath the beds, you have your wardrobe. There is hanging space for jackets and shelves for clothes, all easily accessible. And look at the windows back here. You have windows on both rear doors. Imagine backing this van up to a beach or a mountain overlook. You pop those back doors open, lie in bed with your morning coffee, and just watch the waves or the clouds. That is the lifestyle right there. For storage, you have overhead lockers wrapping all the way around. And a nice touch for 2026 USB-C charging ports right next to the reading lights. You can charge your phone or tablet while you sleep, so you're ready to map out your adventure the next day. What do you guys think? Do you prefer these separate twin beds, or would you fill the middle gap to make one big bed? Let me know in the comments below, I'm curious how you'd set it up. So, what is the verdict on the 2026 Pössl Trenta 640? It's easy to get lost in the specs, the 180 horsepower, the 8-speed automatic, the dimensions. But a vehicle like this isn't really about specs. It's about freedom. It's about having a vehicle. Small enough to navigate a narrow Italian village street, but luxurious enough to be your home for 3 months straight. It's about that hot shower after a long hike. It's about that cold drink from the fridge without even taking off your shoes. The Trenta 640 manages to balance practicality with a genuine feeling of high-end design. It doesn't feel like a utility vehicle. It feels like a mobile lounge. If you are looking to upgrade your travel game this year, this should be very high on your list. I want to hear from you. Is the extra length of the 640 worth it for those long beds, or would you stick to the shorter 600 model to be more agile in the city? Drop a comment below, I rid all of them. If you enjoyed this tour and you're dreaming of your next road trip, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next review. We have some incredible heavy-duty expedition trucks coming up next week that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the road.